Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. Today, we're diving into Unit 1 from your Grade 8 English textbook. Plan the work, work the plan. This is all about how to get things done successfully, and we'll learn some super useful grammar along the way. So, grab your textbook and let's get started. First up, on page 1, we meet Saranga, Amitha, Rajeshwari, and Milan. They're planning an English camp for their school. This is a big project, right? Let's see how they handle it. They start by meeting up to discuss what's already been done. Milan jumps in and says he's already prepared the invitation cards. But did he do it all by himself? Nope. He got help from Amina and Ramesh, and guess who designed the special invitation for the chief guest? Their art teacher himself. This shows that teamwork is super important. Then Rajeshwari brings up a problem. She needs help selecting costumes for the drama. She says, I can't manage it by myself. Notice those words, by myself. We'll come back to that. Luckily, Amitha volunteers her mother to help out. Problem solved. Saranga then mentions that their English teacher said she herself would prepare the language activities. Everyone is taking responsibility. By working together and getting help when they need it, they're confident they can make the camp a success and be proud of themselves. Now, let's flip to page 3 and look at the learning point. This is where we get into some grammar. We're talking about reflexive pronouns. These are words like myself, yourself, himself, herself, itself, ourselves, yourselves, and themselves. See how they all end in self or selves. They're used when the subject and the object of a sentence are the same person or thing. For example, when Rajeshwari says, I can't manage it by myself, she's the one doing the managing, and the action reflects back on her. When the art teacher himself designed the invitation, the word himself adds emphasis. It tells us he was the very person who did it, which is pretty cool. Let's look at the chart. For I, we use myself. For you singular, it's yourself. For he, she, or it, we use himself, herself, or itself. Now for the plurals, for we, it's ourselves. For you plural, it's yourselves. Notice the VS ending. And for they, we use themselves. Let's try activity 1.3a together. The first one is herself blimed. What's SH for? Happened. How do we put this in order? We can say she blamed herself for what happened. The action of blaming goes back to she. Number 2 is a per. I dictionary myself bought. That's easy. I bought myself a dictionary. You are both the buyer and the one receiving the dictionary. Try the rest on your own. Now for activity 1.3b, where we add emphasis. The first sentence is she admitted that it was wrong, and we need to add herself. We can say she herself admitted that it was wrong, or she admitted that it was wrong herself. Both work. The first one puts more emphasis right on she. Okay, let's move on to page 5. Activity 1.4. Saranga is now sharing his experience with the Science Society. What was the secret to their success? His father's motto, plan the work, work the plan. It's so simple, but so powerful. It means you need to create a good plan first and then follow that plan carefully. Saranga explains that they spent a whole day just planning. A whole day. Ravi asks if that was a waste of time. Saranga's answer is brilliant. He says, the time spent for planning is an investment. It's not wasted time because a good plan helps you see problems before they happen and ensures you get good results. Last year, they didn't plan well and faced lots of problems. So the lesson is clear. Planning is the key to success. Next, on page 7, we have Activity 1.5. The Mia and the Necker are scouts packing for a trip. Their mum gives them a great tip. Always write a list before you start packing. This stops you from forgetting important things. Look at that list of items: cups, soap, compass, toothbrushes, boots. A lot of things to remember. A list makes it so much easier. Now, on page 8, they meet Raju, who shows them a smart way to pack a bag. This is super practical. First, gather all your clothes. Then, roll your softer clothes, like t-shirts, and fold the stiffer ones, like pants. You put the rolled items in the corners and along the sides of the bag. This saves a ton of space. Then you put your folded clothes in the middle. Finally, you put the clothes you'll need first right on top. And don't forget to put toiletries and shoes in separate bags to keep everything clean. It's a fantastic system. This leads us to another learning point on page 9, countable nouns. These are nouns that you can count. They have both a singular and a plural form. For example, 1 book, 2 books, 1 bus, 3 buses, 1 mango, many mangoes. Most of the time, we just add an S to make a noun plural. But there are some rules. Let's look at Activity 1.7. A cup becomes cups. A cloth becomes cloths. Easy, right? But what about a toothbrush? It becomes toothbrushes. We add "es" because it ends in sh. Same for a torch, which becomes torches, and a box, which becomes boxes. Words ending in s, sh, chx, or z usually get an "es" in the plural. And a tomato becomes tomatoes. Words ending in o sometimes get "es." It's good to remember these little rules. Finally, let's turn to the beautiful poem on page 10, A Time to Talk by Robert Frost. This poem is about friendship and making time for people. The speaker is busy working in his field with a hoe. When his friend calls to him from the road, does he just shout back, "What is it?" and keep working? No, he says. No, not as there is a time to talk. He stops what he's doing, puts his hoe in the ground, and goes to the stone wall for a friendly visit. This poem teaches us a valuable lesson. Even when we are busy, it's important to make time for our friends. Taking a few moments to connect with someone is more important than finishing a task. The real work of life includes nurturing our friendships. It's a short poem, but it's full of meaning. So, what have we learned today? We learned the importance of planning and teamwork from Saranga's English camp. We mastered reflexive pronouns like myself and themselves. We got some amazing tips on how to pack a bag efficiently and learned about countable nouns. And we finished with a beautiful poem about the value of friendship. Today, we're going to dive into a wonderful letter written by Amitha from Sri Lanka to her pen friend Svetlana in Russia. This is a great way to see how people connect across the world and share their lives. Let's read it together and then break it down. The letter starts from 5 Vijay Road, Putalama, Sri Lanka, dated February 20th, dear Svet. Thank you very much for your letter and the lovely photographs. Hope everything is going well at your end. I was a little busy during the last few weeks. We had a lot of work to do at school. I prepared a plan to complete all the schoolwork on time. I was so happy to know that you are a nature lover as I am. You have asked me about the extracurricular activities that I am involved in. You know, I'm a very active member of the nature club of our school. Every month we plan a special program. This time we organized a beach cleanup. Many people on the beach, including the tourists, volunteered to help us to clean the beach. At this event, the local environmental organization conducted an awareness program to educate the public on the importance of using eco-friendly products. At this program, they spoke about the importance of using eco-friendly paper, cloth bags, and paper cups. Some people bought some of the eco-friendly products that were available there. Interestingly, one foreign tourist shared his personal experience on how he was able to change the attitudes of his neighbors on protecting the environment. By the way, Svetlana, your younger sister looks very sweet. When will she start school? Give my regards to your family. I'm sending some family photographs with this letter. Hope to hear from you soon. Love, Amitha. What a lovely letter. Now, let's explore it a bit more with some questions. First, where is Amitha's pen friend from? That's right, Svetlana is from Russia. What did Svetlana send to Amitha in her last letter? Amitha mentions a letter and the lovely photographs. Next, does Svetlana love nature? Yes, she does. Amitha says, I was so happy to know that you are a nature lover as I am. This shows they share a common interest. What did Amitha's nature club do in February? They organized a beach cleanup, a fantastic initiative. And a final question. Did the club members sell anything at the beach cleanup? The letter says the local environmental organization talked about eco-friendly products and some people bought some of the eco-friendly products that were available there. So it seems products were sold, but likely by the organization, not the club members themselves. It's inspiring to see young people like Amitha making a positive impact on their community and the environment. It also reminds us how wonderful it is to have friends, even those far away. Why not try writing a letter to a friend yourself? Thanks for joining me today. I hope this was helpful. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more lessons, and hit that notification bell so you never miss an update. See you in the next video.